Hey everyone, welcome to this lesson. So in this one, we're going to talk about logical operators. These are very important, and I'm sure you have seen them all over the place, especially if you've looked at any code, and they're heavily used in pretty much Python and every programming language, and they're going to really allow you to really make your code a lot simpler and cleaner. At the same time, they're going to let you check for a few conditions at the same time before you run another operation. So the idea with this is that, so if you think about an if and else operation or if and else condition, it starts by asking a question that would be the condition, right? And then we do something if that condition passes, and if it doesn't, we're going to just do something else. That would be our else condition. So we talked about nested if and else conditions and a lot of other ways to actually just like check for conditions throughout the code, but there is a very cleaner way to actually do this as well. And again, this comes in handy in different situations, such as, for example, you want to make sure one of your if and else conditions check for multiple things before it runs and does anything. So for example, the way a operator or a logical operator works is that it checks for a few things before it actually goes through a program. For example, we can say if condition 1 and condition 2 and condition 3 applies, do this. If not, do that. So this is basically a logical operator, and there are 3 logical operators that you want to learn. So the first one is and, the second one is or, and the third one is not. All right. So the idea with an and is actually when you want both of the conditions pass, and if just let's say one of them pass and the other doesn't, this is not going to pass. Essentially, the if condition is not going to pass, and it's going to go to else, for example. So this is very important. Remember, and is going to require both conditions to pass. All right, that's very, very important to remember. The next one is or. So or, from the way it sounds, if you think about it, is just assuming that one or the other needs to pass. So if you want any of this to pass, one of these two has to pass in order for the condition to pass. So it's an or, right? So it's like saying, oh, I want this and that other food. But you say the second one says, I want this or other food. So like, again, it's just either, the differences are essentially and is going to have to require all of them to pass, or it's just going to have to require one of them to pass. So that's as explained here. By the way, you can download this in the resources section and access this file that I'm showing you. All right. And then last one is not. The not essentially is a reverse condition. So it essentially reverses. For example, it says if, for example, this is not that, it's not going to do something like that. So again, I'll put that in practice right now and I'll explain. Essentially, it reverses the condition. All right. So let's go ahead and actually do this. So I'm going to write a code. I'm just going to say print. Well, let's actually go up here. That's where we want to write our code. All right. So we're going to print, and we're going to say, let's say we want to check for something. We're going to say individuals between 25 and 35 are eligible for this service. So let's say we're selling something and we want to make sure that age is correct. All right. So age equals, so we're just going to receive the information from the user. All right. Input, let's just get it. Make sure, please enter your age. Here we go. All right. So now we're getting the age. Now we're going to go build our if statement. So we're going to say if age greater or equal than 25. All right, and we got to check for another condition, right? Another one is 35. So we're going to say and age less than equal 35. Print, you qualify for the service. All right. So see, guys, so we're saying that if the age is bigger or greater or equal than 25 and age is, less than equal 35, so that means it's between these two, 25 and 35, you qualify for the service. Else, print you don't qualify. All right, so if I run this, we're going to get something like this. Please enter your age. I'm going to say, for example, 33, and it says you qualify for the service. So just like that, we did an if and else statement with two conditions. We checked age and we checked two things, two age conditions essentially. So another way to actually do this is, let's say we can use or. All right. So for example, I'm going to say if age is 25 or greater or equal than 25, or well, let's do it this way. Let's say if age is equals, like fully equals 25, or age is over 35. So I don't know, for this weird service, individuals have to be either 25 exactly or over 35, or whatever this thing could be, right? So for example, if I run this, if I, let's say, put 30, or let's say we put 29, we're not going to qualify, right? Because again, this is 29, the age either has to be 25 or over 35, so we don't qualify. See? So that's an example of an or statement. So another one is not. The not actually goes before, so that's very important to remember. So if age is not 25, you're going to qualify. All right, so everything else you don't qualify. So again, this is like the not, when you think about it, it's really like, it doesn't seem very useful, but in some cases in programming it becomes extremely useful. I don't have anything on top of my mind at the moment, but again, it's just one of those weird things that you will have to see it in action for it to actually make sense. All right, so for example, so we're gonna say if age is not 25, so for example, if it's 27, we should qualify. But again, if I run this one more time, and if I say my age is 25, it says you don't qualify. So guys, that's how you use the not operator. So just keep in mind, these are very, very important operators. Like, they're extremely useful in different cases. And again, the not is like explained as you see, it goes first and then the condition goes after. So if not age 25 or something like that. So just keep that in mind. That's how you format it. The not is a little bit different, but shouldn't be that complicated. But again, that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know if you have any questions about this, and make sure you download this resource as well. It's gonna it's a nice thing to keep around if you want to take a look at it. And if not, I'll see you in the next lesson.